Kingdom Hall. This is Kelsey.
Hi. I just have a quick question. I was wondering if someone could help me with it.
I'll try to.
Okay. Well, we have this group that we discuss religion and the Bible, and it came up about one of the convention talks that somebody had watched, and they were posting it and telling us about it. And we were just wondering if that's a common practice within the organization or just a thing one person was talking about in the talks. I don't know if you all agree with it, but he was talking about baptizing children and teenagers and said that it might be a good idea for parents to ask them or to tell them if they're not ready to be baptized by age 16, they're probably not ready to get a driver's license.
Oh, no, that's definitely not something that we teach.
Oh, well, it was in the video of Anthony Morris at the convention from 2015. So, I mean, it is taught, but we were just wondering if you all agree with that or disagree with doing something like that.
I don't know. I mean, people become ready to be dedicated and baptized at different ages, depending on, their own personal study, what they...
Right, but I was just wondering about, holding out a threat like that, if that's a common practice or if you guys don't really agree with him about that.
Oh, I've never heard that before. In fact, I don't know, where did you see that video?
You can just Google the 2015 Watchtower Convention, Anthony Morris. It was Sunday, the last talk.
I don't know. I've never seen anything like that. I definitely don't know that I trust everything I find on Google, but I'm not sure. If you want, you can give me your phone number, and I'll look more into it and call you back.
Oh, sure. That'd be great. So is your leaning, though, because I was just going to ask a couple of witnesses and kind of see what the consensus is. Is your leaning that you wouldn't probably do that?
As far as threatening someone to get baptized?
Right, to say, like if they were your kid, your teenager, you'd say, well, you're probably not ready to get a driver's license either then, by 16.
Definitely not.
Oh, okay. I'll put you down for a no. Okay. We're just trying to get a take on it. So, yeah, it was really him, it was really him talking. It was a very widely talked about thing. It was shocking to many people. Since the ramifications of baptism, dedication to the organization are so severe, could be so severe for them. Statistically, about 75% of the kids do end up leaving. That's just a recent statistic from Pew Research. So, it's just really, it was a little shocking.
Vow is, it's something you want to take seriously, just like a wedding vow.
Yeah.
You want to take that seriously, and no one should force you to get married if you don't want to do it yourself. So I can understand maybe the point of, just like you would for a driver's license, if you've studied and prepared, you should be able to know whether or not you want to make a decision. That kind of makes sense. By 16, I can understand if you've studied a long time, maybe you want to make a decision. But many people are far older than that when they choose to get baptized. So,
yeah, it was going around. It was widely, shared and brought a lot of shock to a lot of people. The one of the head lawyers in the Australia Royal Commission that investigated the organization's policies on sexual abuse called it a captive organization for baptizing even children as young as 8. Claiming they understand all the ramifications. And then, where does that leave them? So it's just interesting that he called it that.
Catholics who sprinkle their infants, that's far different than,
but that's not the point because they don't have any ramifications like shunning.
Well, and really, the shunning thing, I don't know. I think it's a lot taken out of context. But yeah,
really? Well, the videos from last year's convention are also going around a lot to many people's shock about, mothers not answering a phone call from their daughters and all these. It's just very, very controlling and very shocking. So we don't, it would be difficult to deny if someone had seen those videos about them being in the bunker and shunning their kids and things like that. So it's just out there for everybody to see, really. So, okay. Well,
And that concept of, once again, go back to the marriage arrangement. So your mate has made you a vow.
Mm-hmm.
Under good, they're of age, they've decided they weren't forced to, and then they repeatedly and unrepentantly go against that vow. It doesn't make sense that you would continue married to that person if they've repeatedly and unrepentantly done so.
Well, that's a false analogy on so many levels, I wouldn't even know where to begin. Because they're doing this to children. Common ages is like 10, 11, 12. I've seen some really young ones get baptized and videos of it. In the yearbook, they praised an 8-year-old, and I have children, so they can say all they want about, you could answer all the questions. Well, children can parrot things, and they're also not allowed to research outside of the organization's research. They call that research. Just researching their own materials is not really research.
Oh, goodness. I tell you, I did.
Oh, wow. You openly read books by former members and things like that?
By former members. No,
and read on Wikipedia about their true history that they don't tell on their website? You did that?
Well, I talked to people of other religions.
Oh, right. And most of them probably didn't really know much about the society. But anyways, if you wanna look into it, it's just really easy to find online. So I hope you would check it out.
I'll ask somebody if they've heard of it and see if somebody can give you a call.
Yeah, sure. It's
Kingdom Hall.
Hi, I just had a question I was wondering if someone could help me with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we were discussing in a discussion group that we have about religion, and we had seen this talk that was one of the convention talks, and we just had a question about it. It was from 2015, and the guy was talking about baptizing kids and young people.
Okay.
And he said that he suggested that if they don't want to be baptized by age 16 or aren't ready, that parents should maybe withhold their driver's license. That would be a good method to...
That the parents should withhold their driver's license if they
right.
don't want to be baptized?
Right.
If they don't want to be baptized?
Right. He said, well, maybe if you're not, you could try this if you're not ready. Well, you're probably not ready to get a driver's license either.
Oh, I see what he was saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was suggesting that as a method. So my question is, do you guys agree with doing that? Is that a common practice?
As far as I know, no.
Oh, okay.
Because we baptize anyone who is we don't have an age, is it? Right, as long as they meet the qualifications to be baptized. You know what happens with baptism is in the Christian church, they baptize anyone, like babies. We wouldn't baptize a baby because a baby doesn't know what he's doing.
Do you think an 8-year-old could possibly understand the ramifications of being baptized as a dedication to the organization?
If he knows the rules of the organization.
Mm-hmm. Really? They instruct an 8-year-old that 75% of the kids end up leaving. That's the statistic. And what will happen to them if they leave? An 8-year-old understands that. I've had a large family. I don't think any 8-year-old I ever had could understand that.
It depends on the 8-year-old. We wouldn't just baptize any 8-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
However, we wouldn't prohibit it either. If we don't make a practice of it.
How could an 8-year-old actually even do the research that would be necessary to decide if there's any proof that it's Jehovah's organization? They could probably, some of them, most couldn't even read that one.
I would agree with you there.
Mm-hmm.
However, there are some
Really?
See, that's why we don't put an age limit. There's almost, I mean, in my opinion, I wouldn't baptize an 8-year-old either. Sometimes even a 10-year-old, 12-year-old. However, if the person understands the rules and can live by it, then we would baptize them. But we don't make a practice of that. It's just,
yeah. Well, they did praise a 10-year-old being baptized in one of the videos, and it was praising an 8-year-old in the recent yearbook. So it does seem like a thing they're wanting to
yearbook,
do.
They praised an 8-year-old.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where is that? I'll have to take a look and see it.
Oh, you'd have to email me so I could find the link. I don't have it. I just read it myself. It was on the yearbook was on the website. It was the most recent one, and I think it was in a different country. But
let me just ask: does anyone remember seeing an 8-year-old being baptized on a website?
On the yearbook.
But if they can answer the question, from the book, and they have accurate knowledge of the Bible, more than likely they would qualify for baptism. You can't just get baptized if you're not qualified. So they would have to actually qualify for baptism.
Okay, well, if you can't just be baptized, you would have to answer the questions with 3 different elders, and you study.
Wow.
And it's not something that we just, that's what I'm trying to say. It's not something that we randomly do. Say, okay, you want to be baptized, get baptized. No, you have to study and understand what you're doing.
But isn't an 8 or 10-year-old only really have that perspective, since they're not allowed to visit any other religion or even read the writings of any other religion or any critiques?
Who said that they're not allowed to visit any other religion?
They've taught that you'll get a demon if you go into a church and things like that. I can find that reference for you too. That's a common belief.
Wait a minute. Well, hold it. I don't know what website you're looking at, but that's not true.
I can find that for you.
You want to call me back and give it?
Oh, sure. That they're not allowed to go into churches. Some of them won't even go to their relatives' funerals because they have such a fear of going into a church.
I have never. Hold it.
Are you new?
I just have to say. This lady is telling me that they're told that the kids are told that
No. Kids aren't. What I'm saying is, kids might not be told that. But I'm saying it's been a common teaching. Lots of witnesses have told me that. They don't visit churches with people. They absolutely don't.
We don't because
right.
What Yeah, I can't explain it all over the phone, but do you live locally?
No. We're just trying to get a feel for if what he recommended is something widely practiced.
Is there a Kingdom Hall in your area that you could
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to ask somebody today, just really quick. So, are you saying that you?
But before you talk to anyone, talk to an elder, not just someone that claims to be a witness, because we have a lot of them around. And already you told me 2 things that I know it's not true. If you could talk to an elder, someone that knows what we do, and I thought one would be here now, but there's none here now. If you want, I'll try to get your phone number and have one call you back, because even the website that you're going to, our official website is jw.org.
Right. I also like to read the older publications as well to get a more accurate view of the history. But anyways, so basically I'm just asking, is that something you would do or recommend about withholding their driver's license, or is that just something that one guy said?
No.
You don't recommend that?
No, and you can ask an elder from any other congregation.
Well, that was a teaching from Anthony Morris. He's considered to be God's channel on earth. So, it's interesting that you don't agree with it, but I'm glad that you don't, because I think it's awful.
Because Anthony Morris might have suggested that he
no, it seemed like he thought it was a really good thing to do. It was on the Sunday last talk of the 2015 convention, so I'm sure you can find it. You can look it up. It was very interesting.
Yes, because Anthony Morris is a respected person in our congregation.
Yeah, he's considered part of God's channel. So, maybe you should aren't you supposed to agree with him? But that's okay. I mean, I'm glad you don't. I'm glad you wouldn't do that to anybody. But hey, thanks for talking to me about it.
Okay.
Okay.
You have
Thank
a good
you.
day.
God bless.